all the Hoyas in the Botanic Gardens. Let's check them out. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose, and in today's video I'm going to take you around my favorite place in the Botanic Gardens here in Leiden, the Hoya greenhouses. I just wanted to pop in here and say that this was filmed in March 2021. So it's been about 3.5 months since filming, and I talk a lot about winter, and obviously now it's full summer, so bear that in mind as you're watching this. Also good to know is that these greenhouses are actually for research purposes. So they are not open to the public. If you ever do go visit the Botanic Gardens, this is not a place that you can just walk into. So keep that in mind. This is going to be a pretty long video, but there were so many amazing plants that I didn't want to cut too many out. And this is actually also the greenhouse where I personally fell in love with Hoyas, and I'll show you that plant at the end of the video. Totally worth watching all the way through to the end. While I have you here, please consider giving this video a thumbs up at the beginning of watching it. It's really helpful apparently. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to my channel. Let's get on with it and watch all the Hoyas. Enjoy, my friends. There will be some weird noises, as you can maybe hear, because there's lots of machines working to keep this place warm and airflowy and all that stuff. So I'm sorry if that annoys you, but let's go look at some Hoyas. As you walk inside here, you come into this main hallway, which I love the most because it's so organized. There's different levels, and there's Hoyas and Deshirias hanging so neatly in all these rows. There's so many plants as well. And then both on the right side and on the left side are more greenhouses. So there is a lot to see. Let's go. In the beginning part here of the main hallway is a lot of Deshirias, and I have to say not all labels are updated here. So if you see something that doesn't make sense, that sometimes happens, unfortunately. Lots of adorable Deshirias. This looks like Numerolarioides. Yes. And this one has a little bit more pointy leaves. I don't know if you guys like Deshirias, but I do. Especially if they have adorable little leaves. If you don't know, this is an actual active botanic garden, so that means that they're working with researchers that come here to look at plants, and that also means that they have a lot of plants that are the same but from different collection points. So we'll have a Deshiria Numerolaria here from Kairiru Islands with a number and stuff, and then this one is from Moluccas. So they have, it might look like the same plants to us, but for researchers and for this garden, it's very different. So if you notice that they have a lot of the same, they do, but they're not all the same. And since they have a lot of plants and not a lot of people to take care of them, you'll see here that this Deshiria coming from here has actually grown into this one, which is messing up, of course, the whole system. And then it's growing all the way down here as well. So that is not ideal, but unfortunately that happens because there are so many plants here. And I actually just realized that this is not the Deshiria that's growing here. I thought it looked more like a Hoya already, but look, this is coming all the way from here and then from that plant in the back, which says, oh, it says it's also Deshiria Vidali. Can you read? So that is a very prolific grower. Anyway, let's look at some Hoyas in the back. I never look at those in the back, so that's kind of fun. A lot of them will say Hoya Spec. And yes, I'm aware that Spec or Sp stand for species. I just like to pronounce it Spec or Sp. This one is a Vertisolata, but that doesn't mean much because there's a lot of kinds of Vertisolata. This is a Hoya Vertisolata as well. Let's see. Let's skip over some of... Oh, actually, let's not skip this one. This is so pretty. I think this is Deshiria Hirschuta. Hirschuta. Yep. And as you can see, this loves life. I don't know if you can see. Let's go a little bit lower so you can see better. But this one has actually, I think, climbed over to this Numerolaria looking one. Because, let's see if I'm messing up the names. Deshiria Speck, so we're not calling it a Numerolaria. But here, you can see there are two kinds on here. And I suspect that this one, yeah, here you can see it, grew over from the other kind onto this one. So that's really fun and messy and not so good for research. Oh, this is actually beautiful. Hoya Spec from Sumatra. Wait. With no, yeah, there is a number. Looks very pretty, very veiny. A lot of these plants are quite old, so you'll see very woody stems. Here's another leaf, a little bit dried out. And here is another leaf. That looks amazing. And I did see there were some flowers in certain places, but hopefully I will see them again to show you guys because there are a lot of plants here. Hoya Parasitica. Oh, actually, Fertisolata. So this has an updated label because here it says Parasitica, but all Parasiticas have become Vertisolatas. So that's cool. There are a lot of peduncles here, really old peduncles, but not flowering at the moment. Then in the back here, we've got a Hoya Spec from Borneo. That looks beautiful, as you can see, really veiny leaves. It looks a lot like a Maradithy maybe, or something like a veiny, oh, Hoya, I'm stuck in all the Hoyas. Okay, here we are. This is what got me stuck. There, shoot, I wanted a bit more attention. Here is a Hoya Diversifolia. Looking beautiful. In the back there, another Vertisolata, but really, really big leaves. Oh wow, on the bottom there is an actual huge leaf. Here's a Hoya Spec again. And I'm saying spec, I know it stands for species, but I like sp or spec, so. Another one. Here's a Deshiria Imbracata. Looking very cute. With lots of peduncles as well. If you didn't know, Deshirias are very closely related to Hoya, so that's why they're here in the greenhouses together. They also like the same care, so that helps as well. This is a Hoya La Cunosa from Java. You can see the little abs on the leaves. And these greenhouses get a lot of light in summer. So you'll see that the new growth is a little bit darker from the winter light, but in summer these actually go almost white because of the amount of light that they're getting. Here's a Hoya Numerolarioides. Excuse my Latin. Beautiful. Seems to be growing again. That's nice. And then another Vertisolata. Beautiful leaves. I should go a little bit quicker because otherwise we're going to be here forever and ever. Hold on, because there's so many. This one looks awesome. What is that? Hoya Spec. Really big leaves. A little bit funky looking. This looks like some kind of Obscura, yes. Look at the beautiful red. As a botanic gardens, they actually focus mostly on the non-hybrids, but like the actual species types. So that's why I thought this was a sunrise, but obviously it's not, because sunrise is a cross between this one, Obscura, and I think La Cunosa. So this, it makes more sense that they have an Obscura instead of a sunrise. Another Vertisolata. Okay, we gotta move. More specs. See, there's so many specs. This looks like, oh, spec as well. But this looks like a Diversifolia, or the other one that I always forget, Camingiana. This is actually very pretty. Crassicula, can't read that, but look at these leaves. They're very cool looking. I like thick, big leaves. Whoa, this is amazing. Hoya Spec. Look at the veins and the dark color. That is a very cool plant. Here's one that looks similar. They often have more than one in collections of botanic gardens. Hoya Australis. Interesting. Wait. Hoya Australis. This does not look like an Australis to me. But then again, Hoya ID is often not done on the leaves. And also, a lot of these IDs might not be up to date. Here's a really nice looking Deshiria Spec. Looks like a Waimani. And then, hello! Here's another Hoya Spec, which looks amazing. So many veiny, beautiful leaves. By the way, this is what the other side looks like. My hands are here and my head is in the Hoyas to try and show you. So you're welcome. Well, here said I can take some of them a little bit forward so I can show you better. So that's what I did with this one. Maradithy from Borneo. Beautiful, beautiful plant. But it's not really easy to move them because they're all tendrilled into each other. So it's really interesting. This is a really beautiful Maradithy. Looks very different than the one I have. The two I have, actually. Here we've got another Hoya Spec with big leaves. And then this one is also really pretty. It's also labeled Hoya Maradithy from Borneo. This looks more like the one I have because the leaves kind of go round a little bit and not flat. I don't know if that's a thing in a certain plant or a clone or if it's more environmental. I don't know. Here again, you can see the difference with the summer leaves and then the winter leaves. So not all sun stress is good, but I hope you like seeing these. This Hoya is Purpura Fusca. I actually have, no, I always say that wrong. I have the Cinnamomophilia var Purpura Fusca, and I don't know if that's the same or not, but the leaves do look quite similar with a nice black edge around them. Can you hear that constant noise? I don't know if you can, but there's some kind of machine making a really annoying noise. And Deshiria ovata. There it is, can you hear it? I decided to skip some of these because they don't have names anyway, and they are not the ones that I necessarily like, because there's like literally we've done maybe 1/4 of the main greenhouse and there's still like 2 more greenhouses to do as well. So we're gonna move things along a little bit more. This looks like Meliflua, yes. I have this one growing from Ons. I got a cutting. Very small, but these can grow very big. They're very fleshy leaves. They're a little bit dry now, so you can see the veins a little bit more. And this is actually also a Hoya Lakunosa, but with much bigger leaves than we would normally see. So that's very interesting how the different kinds can be so different, I think. Hoya Nicholsoniae. This might be renamed now, I don't know, but beautiful sun stress on this and new leaves growing, so that's very happy Hoya. And then down here, the Hoya Spec again. What is this? Hoya Verticillata with a little bit less pronounced veins, but very chunky, thick leaves. Very cool. And then back here we've got Hoya, can we read the label please? Focus. Pentaflabia. That actually looks a lot like one of the Hoyas that I have that we're still waiting for it to bloom. So that might be it. We don't know yet. Here is a Hoya Polistakia. Also really nice veins. If we go down here a little bit more, you'll see it better what I mean. Really thick, chunky leaves. Hoya Diversifolia. Also really big. Oh, that one in the back is beautiful. Hold on, let's try and show you. This is Hoya Spec from Miss West. I don't know where that is. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Hoya Nicholsoniae again. Oh, look at that. Hoya Spec, but you can see, hopefully, that looks like a Clemenciorum type. Look how beautiful that is. Such a cool, cool leaf with lots of mealybugs. That's okay. It's a little bit gross, but just like they use the good bugs to treat bad bugs, but because it does get a little bit colder here in winter, sometimes the good bugs don't work as effectively. So hopefully for spring, it will warm up again and the bugs will work a little bit better so that they can eat all the mealybugs. Here's a Hoya Vertisolata again, with beautiful leaves down here. A little bit less beautiful leaves up here from summer light stress. Oh, and I almost skipped over this one, Hoya Waimani. This is so beautiful. When they get sun stressed, they get this weird pattern on them, like a turtle shell almost. This is definitely more summer growth, I feel like. Very dried out. And this plant actually, as you can see, not all plants are doing as well as they should. This is dried out a lot. But it will come back. I like this one. Oh, look. Baby leaves on that one. And this one, Hoya Spec. This is awesome, actually. This looks like one that my friend posted on her Instagram, but I forgot the name. This looks very cool. Where is it from? Bandas Forest Reserve. Very cool. Here's another La Cunosa. This one's a little bit more dark, like we're used to seeing. Hoya Macrophylla. This is actually huge. Huge leaves. I wonder if that ID... If you haven't seen Miro's video on this, please go check it out. Miro is Basie Plants on YouTube and Instagram. He's very knowledgeable. More Hoya Obscura. So funny because normally I would tell you all the prices, but now I just tell you the labels and where they're from. So it's very different than a plant shop tour. This one also looks very cool. Hoya Spec. Really fleshy leaves, very big. Ooh, and Hoya Imbracata. Climbing up here. Like a little anthill. Oh, that says Hoya Carnosa. That's so interesting. Look. Hoya Carnosa. Hoya Spec. Hoya Plicata. That looks cool as well. Cool leaves. Very different from what we're normally seeing. Hoya Kentiana, where the winter growth looks amazing, and then the summer growth is a little bit funky, but still pretty. I'm still on the hunt for flowers, by the way. I know we will find them, but not yet. This is Hoya Pikta. This is one that I've showed you on my channel before because I have this one as well with the cute tiny yellow flowers that I don't currently see, but they are very small, so we might miss them very easily. Another... Oh, here's an actual latifolia. Look, Miro. This one's labeled correctly. Hoya Latifolia var alba. Look at that. Hoya Spec, Hoya Spec. Here is another Pentaphlabia with beautiful leaves. Very big. You may have noticed I skipped the far back part because some of my favorite Hoyas are hanging there and I want to keep them for last. So let's go look in the other greenhouses first. Let's go in on the left here. I do have to say there's a little bit more noise even because there's a machine there that I think does the air circulation or the heating or something. So sorry about those noises. But the Hoyas are worth checking out, definitely. So these have more of a tray system and then hanging on this side as well. Most of the Hoyas in this aisle are on this side. So we've got Camphorifolia here, which I am growing as well from a nursery that I buy my Hoyas from often in Spain. By the way, if you want to check out where I get most of my Hoyas, check out my website, yogawithrose.com/plants, and then click whether you're in Europe or in the US. And I have links there for web shops and everything. Hoya Marilli, which is the contender for the one that we have at home, the Hoya Spec. This is so beautiful. There are several of these. And it looks like this is a little flower of... Oh, something else actually. This is a flower of this one, which is a Fertisolata from Bangkok. Look at that color grading, the gradient. What do you call that? I don't know. Hoya Obovata. There's not much growth on there. and it doesn't look like an obovata to me, but I'm no expert. I'm just an obsessed person. Here is another really big leaved one. This is Hoya Glabra, seems like. It's hard to see where the leaves are coming from sometimes, so I'm doing my best. Hoya Fusca marginata, that's this one with the dark edges around the leaves. Hoya Spec from Lao. Hoya parasitica, I think that's renamed as well. IPPS 8141. Oh look, there's lots of plants just randomly growing underneath pots as well. Hoya carnosa. And this is a spec. This is a spec. We've got a, oh, that's coming from very far away, but look at the kerry growing all over the place. From here, which I don't think they will call that, oh, they do call that a spec. Okay. Is it coming from that pot? No, it's coming from this pot. Hoya kerry. Okay, that makes more sense. See how hard it is to find where they come from? A Nicholsonii. Very beautiful. And these big leaves, those are from the spec pot, this one. But look at how big that is. Can you see? That's longer than my hand. That's crazy. I know that on this side there are a few cool ones as well. This one is a Maradithy from Borneo. This looks like the other one that we saw before, and like mine. And then this one is Hoya Spec, IPPS 7945. And this has the veiny leaves like the Clementiorum. Hold on. The other plants are in the way. The Ascianthus also wants some attention hanging out here. Look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm obsessed with these leaves. They are so pretty. This seems to be a little baby leaf. That's amazing. It's growing. These are Ascianthus, and I just wanted to show you that because Hoya told us these are not... Oh, there's an ant on my hand. Do you see that? That's a little tropical ant that is living here in the greenhouses, and apparently it's quite special because they aren't grown anywhere else. Hopefully they won't bite. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that these flowers are natural, so they're not grown to be super huge flowers. They just have them like this. Isn't that crazy that nature can make something like that? Just making sure that the ant is going off my hand. There we go, thanks. Hoya kerry. This one is also very cute. What are you? Look at those leaves. What do you think? Do you like it? Oh, Deshiria Sagittata. Weird name. Look at this cute Deshiria with a lot of splash. And then another... Oh, this has the label that I was talking about before. Hoya Filura. That is the old way they named Clementiorum. So that's not the correct name anymore. Or I don't think it changed, but they just labeled it wrong maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that that is what Paul Shirley calls his Clementiorum, and the GPS number means that it actually did come from Paul Shirley. They are his collection numbers, and they help to distinguish between different clones of one species. It's really fun to look up, once you get into the nitty-gritty of the Hoyas, to look up the numbers and the letters in front of some names, because you'll learn a lot about the person who found them, and then you can go on that person's website and read all their old newsletters that they wrote about finding these Hoyas and stuff, and going on adventures in tropical places. So it's really, really fun. This is beautiful. By the way, this is my hand. This is so big. Amazing. Hoya Filura. Clementiorum. Another Hoya Spec with ants all over. It didn't bite me, so it's fine, I think. Look at that. And here is again the difference in winter growth and summer growth, or like the effect of having lived one summer, I should say. There's literally Hoyas just climbing all over here. You don't even know what these are anymore because they're just growing all over each other. Here's one flowering. This is a Hoya Spec on the label, but here we just saw it before, and he says this is definitely a Deshiria. When you look at the little flowers, this is how Deshiria flower. By the way, they're adorable with the purple edges on the urns. Very cute. And then here, Hoya Polistakia. Again, beautiful, thick, big leaves with nice sun stress from summer. What are these? I think it's this pot. Oh, Hoya Spec. Just showing you the leaves because I can't tell you anything about them anyway because they're speck all over the place. This is a Fertisolata from Thailand and a Australis. Oh, that's interesting. This is a Hoya Australis. Look at the stem, it's really thick. Hoi! And the leaves are huge. So big and beautiful. Random begonia growing in a Deshiria pot. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to the mama plant of my Hoya Spec, which we named Supermoy. This is the mama. And it's not flowering, but it has some peduncles down here. See, on the fresher leaves. So it has flowered already. We just missed it for identifying. I'm not always here, and the specialist, I don't think they necessarily care for finding the name of this because there's so many specs anyway. But we're gonna try and figure it out this year. It's a challenge. Hoya rigida. Beautiful. Whoa, look at how different that old leaf looks. This might be dying off. Hoya L. Nidicus from Pole as well. And this is a Hoya Arnothiana again. With a peduncle that's new, so that's exciting. Still haven't found any flowers for you. How did that happen? I saw them so many before. Let's check over on this side for a few more that I'm sure are Hoya Specs. This one is beautiful. Whoa. And it's growing to the floor even. Look at that. Hanging all the way down here. I think someone's actually watering the plants right now, so you might hear some water noises. I can't even figure out what these are. The labels are missing, or they're just growing into a jungle. Here is Hoya Carnosa again. I'm so confused by these carnosas that are so thick and big. Oh, and it's starting to rain. I don't know if you can hear that, but that sounds very nice. Another Hoya Spec from Borneo. And an Arnothiana. This one's really big as well. Hoya Spec from Borneo. GPS 10067. All right, that was this aisle. The other side doesn't have many Hoyas, but there are a few worth showing you. So we're just gonna walk through here. Lots of lipstick plants and ferns and stuff. It's a little bit darker on this side, it seems like. Here is a Hoya Vertisolata. Oh, my hair is stuck in Hoya land. Here's a Polistakia that is growing again, but the rest of the plant didn't fare very well. This is actually an adorable plant as well. I forgot the name, but I really like this one, and I've seen it sold in garden centers recently, or something that I think looks like it, but I'm no expert. Here is a Hoya Fusca marginata, GPS 10036. Beautiful. Do you guys like this jungly vibe, or do you prefer it to be a little bit more organized like a garden center? Tell me in the comments. This one, okay, this one is my favorite. Hoya Polistakia, with really thick, big leaves, very dark, but a lot of splash as well on this one specifically. I really like it. Beautiful. Now let's go into the other side. I'm definitely sure that there are some flowers here. This is a lot of orchids on this side. On this side, a lot of Hoyas as well. So turning the camera. Hoya rigida. So there's a front row, but I just realized that there is a big back row as well of Hoyas. So let's start on the back row, because look what we've got here. Look at these big leaves. Hoya Excavata. Very big. And then an Australis, apparently. Ooh. Ah! Mealybugs on my hands because this leaf has a lot of them. In case you're interested in mealybugs, you can see here the ones with the tails. They're the really big mamas, and then the eggs are all hidden in the white fluff. So fascinating to see, and unfortunately part of having Hoyas. Well, that was fun. I'm just gonna be a little bit more mindful of grabbing random leaves by the back. Don't grab things by the backside without asking. Here is another Hoya Spec, but this looks prehistoric once again. Look at that. Shoot, this is my dream Hoya. And luckily I have it. I have a few growing, but I just can't get enough of watching these leaves. What about you? Do you like this, or are you like surprised that this is even a thing? I know when I first started I was like, what are you talking about? Hoyas are not nice. I like other things. I like aeroids. And now I have turned up here. Okay, don't fall over. Hoya Spec. Similar to Supermoy. What's this one? Hoya Obovata. It seems like their Obovatas are so different from the ones that we have. This one looks very cute. Is this Hoya Speck as well from Sulawesi? Still no flowers. What is happening? Ooh, look at this. This is a Maradithy crossed with Crassicaulis, and I love it. This we've seen in Paul Shirley's greenhouses as well. What is this? Diversifolia. This looks like a new leaf. Very dark, very good looking. There we go. What do you think? I like this new one that's so dark and splashy. And look at that, that's how an old Hoya looks like. And there's actually some active growth on there. See the little point? Oh, look, this one is budding up. Hoya Vertisolata. Here's a Hoya Spec. Oh, again, beautiful leaves. And another one with very big leaves. This looks a little bit like a Mediflua, kind of like how chunky and fleshy the leaves are. Up here is a Hoya Australis, which is adorable. Here's another Hoya Comfortfolia. Oh, I did it again. Look. Oops, I did it again to your heart. Ah, get off me, mealybugs. Okay, this one is a Finlaysoni. By the way, I asked the guy who works here if I have to wash my hands in between touching the mealybugs, and he's like, no, it's fine, because they have the good bugs around. Look, there's a thingy of good bugs to eat the bad bugs. Hoya Finlaysoni. Why am I touching the backs of leaves without looking all the time? This is a not so veiny one, but I know that is due to light because I have this one at home and mine is a lot more veiny than this one. Ah! Something in my neck. What is it? Some kind of orchid. Looks very weird. That was stuck in my neck, so that was a little bit scary. No dice on the flowers. See? I'm really confused. When I was here with Rogier just like half an hour ago, I saw lots of flowers and now I don't. Hoya Vertisolata, which used to be known as Parasitica. Ooh, look! Can you hear the rain? Hoya Speck. Of course, it's the Clemencerum looking one that I'm pointing out. Sorry, you guys, you're only getting to see what I like. But look how big that is. Look. Can I have my hand next to it to show you the size? Amazing. Hoya Quinervia. 5 nerved. Seems like that means that. Longifolia is this one. That is definitely long. Look at that, hanging down all the way to the floor. Not that the name means that, I know, but some aerates here. Little sneak peek for a tour that we're gonna film later. Ooh, and there's a Hoya. Ooh, there's a spider. Hello, little spider. You're very pretty. What you doing? Okay, for those who don't like spiders like me, sorry about that. Here's a Hoya Cunosa Crimson Princess. And some Pictum tricolors that we're not going to look at right now, and some crystallinums. I really hope you can still hear and see me because it's really dark and raining on the roof here. But we're getting to the last part of this greenhouse where there are definitely some flowers. I just know it. I hope I can find them for you. There's not a lot of Hoyas on this side, just a few. Let's see. This one is actually awesome because look, it says here Hoya Incurvula, but then there's a little label here that says Breviolata, not Incurvula. So they are working on updating the information. What are you? L. Mindicus. Really big leaves that I'm not gonna touch from the back before I check them. They're okay. This one's also beautiful. I think this is a maybe Flua. Let's see. Oh, Hoya Spec. But this is awesome. Look how big that is. Oh, look how big this is. Wow. That is almost as long as my arm, I wanted to say, but that's a lie. Okay, this is getting very, very loud. Rain. Lots of orchids, if you're into that. Ooh, and a really big Monstera deliciosa large form. Lots of holes everywhere. I'm just gonna keep talking to you and I hope you can hear it. And if not, I'm gonna put a nice piece of music underneath it so that you can listen. Here's a nice Hoya Spec with nice splashy big leaves. I guess that's it for this side. But still, no flowers. I'm literally, apparently I've gone flower blind. And my name is Rose. Imagine that. Okay, I'm gonna go for a check to see where the flowers are and then hopefully I can film them for you. In the meantime, it's raining outside, but also inside because the person who takes care of these plants just came by and watered all of them, which makes it look even more amazing, I think. Ooh, and wet to walk past. This is my favorite hallway to walk by, and this, I really want to grow this plant. We have to find out what it is. Oh my gosh, can you hear the rain? I mean, can you hear me even? Where are the flowering Hoyas? I found it, the flowering Hoya. Woo. I guess there's only one with a big flower chunk. I know there's a few more somewhere, but apparently they don't want to be filmed. They're camera shy. Hoya Glabra again, with the really, really thick, big leaves. Some kind of anthuriums. Here's another one of that cross Maradithy something else. Here's a few more younger ones, just checking for bugs before I touch it. Look how pretty with the veins, and they're a little bit lighter than most veiny Hoyas. Yes, I found the actual flowers. Hoya Micrantha, which is very, I guess, plain looking when you look at the leaves. Not ugly, but plain. And then we've got a flower here. This one is fully opened. This is just opening now. Do you see there's like 3 open and the rest is still closed? And then down here is another one that's still closed. Yes, we finally found it. Fun fact, I say this in almost every Hoya video, but do you see the drippiness on that flower in the back there? That is why Hoyas are called wax flowers. Not because the leaves are waxy, but because there is this nectar dripping from the flowers. Whoops. Isn't that cool? I hope you can see because my hand is shaking a little bit. Here's another Hoya La Cunosa with incredibly big leaves. Check this out. So big. That's crazy and very cool. And this one is just growing a new leaf. What is this? Hoya McGregory. I shouldn't say the I should know that by now. They have very big leaves, and look, it is budding up. I want to be very careful not to mess up the buds. Oh, another Hoya Filura, so Clementiorum. This one is very red, getting a lot of light. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I hope you can hear me talking about how crazy these plants are because they are beautiful. And hopefully actively growing. And then I just noticed on this side is the biggest leaf you ever did see. Look. I can't even get it properly in the shot, but this is so big. Whoa. Hiding behind other leaves. Oh, so loud. Oh, here's more peduncles of the other one. I like how the shape is like a little crown of the micrantha. More lacunosas. What's this one? Incurvula. That's budding up here. Can you see? Yep. But not flowering yet. And oh, wait. Really budding up here, but still not flowering. Adorable. There's a lot of flowers on this one. Seems to be a happy plant. This purple Fusca, I found some really beautiful big leaves, but also just on this bare tendril here, some buds. It's gonna flower. Isn't that cool? So never cut your tendrils, kids. I see this on Hoya groups a lot, the question, like, can I cut off these ugly tendrils? Well, you can, but you're gonna miss out if you do. So I recommend not doing it. Here's another Hoya McGregory with beautiful sun-stressed leaves. A little bit orangey more than red. Look at that. It's like a golden shimmer on there. That's beautiful. Very, very cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this because I know it's a little bit chaotic. I'm trying to be more organized by filming the labels for you, but it's still just a jungle out here with ant plants everywhere. And then underneath the thing there are begonias. If I were to switch on my splash, you might see that this is one of those begonias, the blue ones. And these, just so many cool random plants sitting together. So it's kind of hard to just show you Hoyas because it's literally a jungle out here. Hoya Diversifolia. And again, this one is just growing all the way that way, taking over. Beautiful dark leaves once it's a little bit less light. Ooh, I like this one as well. This is a Hoya Marilli with very big leaves. Here's the label. Look at that, so pretty. And this has a really long peduncle, so it's got good flowers hopefully coming. Again, here's another peduncle. Whoa! Look at this one. And flower buds. Focusing. Look at that. This is a Hoya Spec from the Philippines. Finlaysoni. That's looking amazing. But actually what is grabbing my attention right now is this, I guess, bromeliad that looks like a zebra. Crazy bromeliad. Look at that little plant. Isn't that crazy? That's not a Hoya, I know, but I just wanted to show you some pretty plants. Okay, time for the last part. This is the back part of the main hole, and one of my favorite Hoyas is in here, so I kept it for last. There's also a lot of Deshirias. Again, there's a lot, so let's take a closer look. For my Endurium lovers out there, by the way, they're probably not watching this video, but they are missing out. to this beautiful Endurium Bakery. Can you see the label right there? These are kind of velvety leaves. Amazing. And there's some inflorescences, so they might be able to make some seeds. Oh, and I like this one, Maradithy from Borneo. With very clear patterns on the leaves. Can you see? Whoa, this is an epic leaf. Hold on. Let's get it off the other plant. Hoya Spec from Sumatra. The back ones are the hardest to show you, but sometimes they are the coolest ones. It's starting to rain really loud again, sorry. This is a Hoya Pentaflavia. Oh, and look, this one is also about to flower. This is some kind of either Hoya Verticillata, I would say. Hoya Spec. That looks like a Verticillata to me, but I am no expert, don't believe me. And don't believe Facebook. Believe the experts that do years and years of studies to research these plants and identify them. Here is an adorable Hoya Courtesy from the Philippines. So from what I understand from some of my Hoya friends is that there are two kinds of Hoya Courtesy, and this kind from the Philippines is the really tricky kind to keep alive. But the one that we buy in the web shops is one from, I think it was Thailand. So it's like a different strain. It's a little bit different in shape, a little bit bigger leaves than this, and a lot easier to take care of. Still, I still think it's tricky, but it's easier than this tiny, tiny one. Have you heard that information before? Just wondering. I thought it made a lot of sense because they do look different. And also I had so much trouble trying to keep this alive when my other one just keeps growing. We're almost at the end. Here's something that I think a Deshiria would look like. So this is a Ruskifolia actually. So I have this one at home, but the one that they grow in the garden centers and not the one that you get from, it doesn't say the location, but like the wild basically. Numerolaria, I think. Yeah, from the Philippines. Very, very tiny leaves, so that's adorable. In the back there's another beautiful Finlaysoni, I would say, or Maradithy, but I can't reach it, so we're gonna just leave that for today. It's gonna get to chill without our attention. And then the last one, I kept this one for last. It's labeled Bilobata from the Philippines. It might be a Bertoni or a species affinity Bertoni because apparently the actual Bilobatas are smooth and not velvety like this. But this is the most beautiful plant I've ever seen, and this is what got me into Hoyas, because as you can see, it's got all the rainbow colors. There's a lot of sun stress on this, and it goes from green to pink to purple to orange and yellow and red, and it just got me. When I saw this, I was like, oh, Hoya. So yeah. And there's actually a peduncle, gotta be very careful, peduncle here that is about to bloom. It's got a lot of peduncles, but that one's actually activated, so that's amazing. A few more new growth points here. I love seeing them grow actively. That makes me happy. This is an old label, but yeah, that's the Hoya that started it all. Literally, I walked into this greenhouse saying I don't like Hoyas. We got here, I saw this one, and I was like, I love Hoyas. Now I have 50 or something. And that's it for this tour of all the Hoyas of the Botanic Gardens. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you liked Hoyas before watching this video, if you did learn something, if you already knew about Hoyas, or if you were new to Hoyas, if you started to like them maybe a little bit, just like me. If you have any requests to see more plants here or see close-ups, or I'm also going to film a tour of the rest of the plants, the aeroids and the everything else that they have. Ooh, flower. I found a little flower. Hold on. Ending is not here yet. This Hoya Panchoy, I think I've walked by here already, but I didn't show you the flower. It looks a lot like my Hoya Pikta in leaf shape and in flower shape, only the flowers are dark red-ish pink and mine are yellow. Very cute. And it hangs right next to this beautiful one, so maybe that's why I was distracted. I didn't see it. Seriously. Go check out Hoya Anonymous Nicolette on Instagram. I think she has a plant that looks very much like this, and it looks amazing. She'll know what I'm talking about. I don't know if that's the idea of this one, but it looks very similar. Okay, for real now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you might be interested to do our Discord chat and our monthly Zoom calls, consider becoming a member of my Patreon or my YouTube channel. You'll find all the information below. The rain is so loud. I hope you can hear me. Thank you so much to my lovely patrons. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the comments and the suggestions and just the enjoyment that you guys seem to have for my videos. That's why I love making them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And hopefully see you again soon. Bye, friends. Yeah. There's no bloopers for this one, but there might be some more footage because I can't stop filming them.